Comfort feels good for everyone. We all crave it, chase it, and think it's the answer to our problems. But my story will make you hate it forever. And it begins like this. August 2003. I was born with severe myoclonic seizures. Now, this wasn't like those small focal seizures that stay in one spot and barely affect you. No, myoclonic seizures made my arms and legs jerk all at once. Even though doctors tried their best to heal me, the condition kept getting worse every day, and my family worried if I would even survive. But luckily, I did survive, and I became fine, or so I thought. As I was growing up, I started thinking a lot about one thing that fascinated me. I could see water flowing through pipes, and that made perfect sense because there's space inside. But when I looked at a wire, it looked completely solid to me. So I always wondered, how does electricity move through something that looks so solid? And when I looked at a light bulb, I could always wonder how it makes light. I thought the tiny wire inside the bulb was somehow connected to the glass, and that's the science that was giving light. Then I decided to try making one myself. Now, I never wanted anybody to see me experimenting, so I planned to do it at night when everybody slept. One night, when the house was completely silent and everyone was deep asleep, I grabbed a small piece of glass, wrapped a wire around it, and stuck both ends directly into the electrical socket to see if light would be made. And when I did this, something happened that I'll never forget. The shock threw me across the room. My parents were so devastated when they found out, but in time, they came to notice that I had a natural talent for electronics. When I grew up, my dream of being an electrician grew stronger, and I made various electronic projects while I was in school. Everybody knew I was going to be successful with that talent. But then, just when I reached my final grade in high school, the myoclonic seizures came back again, and they were so severe that I started fearing to be in public, and I missed classes most of the time, and to make matters worse, this was the examination grade of high school, the most important year of my academic life. But there was nothing I could do, so I could always be in bed alone with my phone, watching high school education videos on YouTube, and when I did go to school, I was doing well. At times, what I could study myself on the phone was getting me ahead of my classmates, and in most cases, I used to be on top every time we wrote an assessment. So my teachers couldn't complain, even though I wasn't showing up in class most of the time, because they saw my performance and knew that I was capable. But little did I know that being alone in my bedroom with the phone all the time was slowly ruining my social skills. I was becoming a stranger to the world outside my four walls. Even after passing the exams and getting a bit treated for seizures, I still had this strong feeling of wanting to be alone. I refused to go to school again, and I never wanted to start working. All I wanted was to be alone with the phone in my bedroom, watching electronics YouTube videos, playing video games, listening to music. And honestly, this kind of life felt stupid, but I couldn't break free from it. I was constantly aroused, which forced me to watch inappropriate content and engage in excessive self-gratification. This caused my neurons to be overexcited, and thus worsened the seizures. And every time I felt seizures coming, I was getting more demotivated with life, and the more I feared being in public. It was a vicious cycle that I couldn't escape. I was broke, and nothing was changing in my life for 2 whole years. Instead, everything was getting worse every single day, but I kept growing older, and my life kept sinking deeper into this pit. When I reached 21, I could always feel like crying when I looked in the mirror because I now had a beard, a sign that I had grown up, and I needed to know where my life was going. But I had no answer. Nevertheless, I still needed comfort, so I started researching on how to make money online, thinking I could find a way of making huge money while just sitting in my bedroom. But whatever I found was failing when I tried it. Every single opportunity turned into another disappointment. I started feeling real pain for that, pain for how my life was ruined, and every time I looked at someone successful, I could think deep about what I was missing in life. But through my tough time of being lonely with only my phone, I found something that changed my life forever, and I'll tell you exactly what that was. I watched one sermon by Jim Rohn titled "A Challenge to Success," and honestly, he said a lot of life-changing advice. But one thing changed me completely. And it goes like this: if the mind doesn't change, nothing changes. And that's when I realized that I needed to change my mindset first. Because it always wanted freedom without hard work. So I got a simple job, and I didn't mind that I was getting paid low because I learned something powerful. The pain of doing nothing is always worse than the pain of doing something. So to all those watching this and are in a close or similar situation as I was, I really advise you to just take action. If you're not taking any real action in life, your goals will continue being called goals and will never come true. Comfort might feel good in the moment, but it's the silent killer of dreams, potential, and the life you're meant to live.